Kavan Scott and Ario Anandito pit the Jedi of the Starlight Beacon against the Nihil as Avar Kriss leads the charge onto the pirate ship, intending on taking no prisoners and ending their threat once and for all. Kavan Scott begins to wrap up the first phase of the High Republic comics with an action-packed issue that saw the Jedi face more than just physical threats. I've really enjoyed the path Kavan has been taking Avar Kriss down, and how the Jedi when we first met her was so righteous and pure in her ways, and how she's now become corrupted by anger and revenge. It's a great look at how the Jedi constantly push themselves to be these perfect beings who don't hang on to emotions or attachments, and how that can wear even the strongest Force user down. It's been so cool to see that play out here in a time where the Jedi were probably their most dogmatic next to the prequel trilogy. Ario Anandito's artwork continues to be a pleasure to look at, covering a lot of great action this issue and even doing some fantastic tension-filled homages to the opening act of A New Hope, with the Jedi blowing their way onto the Nihil ship like Vader did with his troopers onto the Tantive IV. The High Republic issue 13 was a fantastic issue that explored the mind of a Jedi driven to the edge by anger and revenge, exploring Avar's need to stop the Nihil while clothing it in some really great homage-filled action set pieces. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. The High Republic issue 13 heads to the Great Hall of the Nihil, where Zeta tells Marchion Ro that they have done what he asks, running the tests on his new weapon and even rebuilt the storm and the hall. Ro knows that rebuilding the base was Lourna Dee's idea and Zeta's role is to deal with the storm. Zeta isn't happy about that, knowing that Ro said that he would be there to protect them from the Jedi and kill them all, yet they still come for them. Ro asks what he was expected to do, so Zeta thinks for one, he should be there with them since he is the eye of the storm. Ro asks what Lourna Dee thinks, but the Twi'lek knows that Marchion Ro will do what he's always done and chart his own course. The group are soon alerted to the arrival of the Atraxia as the Jedi ship falls out of hyperspace, scaring Zeta as Ro signs off from the hologram. Zeta thinks that he is a traitor who has left them, ordering the alarms be sounded and it's every Nihil for himself. Lourna belays that order, demanding all fighters to scramble after the Jedi ship since they have the advantage. The Atraxia begins firing on them, taking Lourna by surprise as she tells Zeta to defend the main entrance while she heads to the launch bays. Zeta says that he will be defenseless, but Lourna tosses him his flamer, telling her that he's a Tempest runner and he's got a flamer and his fists and that's all he'll ever need. Then Nihil crowd around the main entrance, watching the blast door as they secure their masks on, flooding the area with their war cloud as a lightsaber pierces the door. Zeta orders his men to fire as the Jedi of the Starlight Beacon blast their way in, with Avar Kriss telling the group to take them down, but Keeve corrects her, telling the others to take them prisoner, hoping that's what Avar meant. She didn't know as Avar slices her way through the pirates, telling herself that she is doing it for the light and the life. She confronts Zeta, remembering the little Nihil as he unleashes his flamethrower on her, but Avar uses the Force to pull apart the flames, crushing the tank on Zeta's back and burning him to death. Avar tells her fellow Jedi to deal with the others as she races out to find Lourna Dee, and Keeve goes after her, knowing she intends on killing the pirate. She reminds Avar that not long ago she took Skier's saber from him for killing in cold blood, but the Trandoshan is sick and his judgment was clouded. But what is her excuse now? Avar attacks Keeve, demanding that she stop this since she will not be lectured by a Jedi she personally knighted and a Jedi who constantly doubts her abilities and who questions the song of the Force. Keeve asks whose song Avar is hearing now, the Force or her own. She force pushes the Master down, apologizing since she isn't thinking straight and Master Geos and Maru are worried about her. Avar tries to tell Keeve about the song when an explosion blows the knight off her feet, knocking Keeve out. Lourna reveals herself, having commandeered a mech suit along with a giant laser lance. Dee knows that Keita thought the suit wasn't ready, but he should have more faith in his abilities, almost sorry that Avar had to kill him, taunting the Jedi about what she did. Avar cuts through the villain's lance, splitting it down the middle as she tells her that all this ends tonight and she'll answer for what she did on Zaxxas and Valo. Lourna wonders what will make the Jedi pay for what she did, knowing that she'll have to do it, as Dee orders all Nihil ships to fire on the hall, blowing holes right through the hall as Lourna tells Avar that she will fire on her own people if it means winning this war. Avar sees the unconscious Keeve, apologizing to her as she uses the Force to blow apart Lourna's armor. Avar demands that Lourna yield, but the Nihil refuses, igniting a lightsaber and battling Avar with it. Avar recognizes the lightsaber hilt belonged to Terek, angering her enough to cut Lourna's hand off. Avar tells the defeated villain that long ago she made made a promise to anyone who could hear her voice, saying that she would be the beacon in the darkness and protect those afraid of it, and Lourna made her a liar. She thinks that maybe the words are no longer enough and maybe a new promise needs to be made, one that will never be broken. Keeve awakens just in time to watch Avar raise her lightsaber above her head, intending on killing Lourna Dee in the name of the light and the life.